Now, I would like to request Scientific Chair, Professor Saurabh Prasad Oza, sir, to deliver his remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Nina. Good morning and namaskar. Mr. Chairpersons, the President of Psychiatric Association of Nepal and this SAARC International Psychiatric Conference inauguration ceremony, our Chief Guest, Dr. Roshan Pokhrel, Health Secretary, Minister of Health and Populations, our guest of honor, Professor Sartorius, Norman Sartorius, Organizing Chairman, Professor Sudarshan Narsingh Pradhan, Dr. Gautam Shah, current SPF President, Dr. William Siams, incoming SPF President, our guest, Ms. Alice Akunga from UNICEF, all the distinguished guests of the dais, professors, doctors, our delegates from Nepal and abroad, our media's friends, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Chair of the Scientific Committee of the 14th SAARC International Psychiatric Conference, I am with our committee members, deeply honored to welcome you all in the beautiful city of Kathmandu, Nepal. Kathmandu is a city with lots of culture and history. It gives a special cultural experience to everyone who comes here. Kathmandu, a wonderful place for our conference, where people from the SAARC regions, Europe, Australia, have come together here to share their knowledge and ideas. Our conference theme, Exploring Networking Opportunities for Mental Health Among SAARC Countries, is not just gathering of professionals. It is also a meeting of minds dedicated to the improvements of mental health in regions. During these 2 days conference, there will be a keynote presentation by Professor Norman Sartorius, various symposiums, topic presentations, free paper presentations, SAARC plenary panels, networking opportunity for mental health, workshops, various awards, poster presentations that will cover important aspects of mental health and to contribute the well-being of our society. Before I conclude, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all our esteemed guest speakers from Nepal, abroad. I'm sure that this conference will be very valuable for future progress in mental health in the SAARC countries. Let us make this opportunity, build new connections, and work together to address the mental health challenges in our country. Finally, from Albert Einstein quote, life is like riding bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. So let us move together, let us work together. With these remarks, on behalf of Scientific Committee, our committee members, organizing committee members, I wish you a successful and enlightening 14th SAARC International Conference 2023 in Kathmandu, Nepal. With these words, thank you very much.
Now, I would like to request Dr. Alice Akunga from UNICEF to deliver her speech.
Respected Chairperson, Professor Sudarshan Pradhan, our Chief Guest, respected Secretary, Dr. Roshan Pokhrel, Ministry of Health and Population, Guest of Honor, Professor Norman Sartorius, Dr. C.P. Sedai, President of Psychiatrist Association, Nepal, distinguished experts from SAARC countries, the media, and all respected participants. A very good morning to all of you. First, I take this opportunity to congratulate and thank the Ministry of Health and Population and the Psychiatrist Association Nepal in organizing the 14th SAARC International Psychiatrist Conference in this year 2023, with the objective to explore networking opportunities for mental health among SAARC countries. I wish to reiterate that this is a very, very important area because it affects all cadres of people. It is silent, it is not seen, it's not known, and it is quite catastrophic, not just to the people, but to the larger societies, families, and countries at large. When it comes to children and adolescents, mental health of children and adolescents is largely unrecognized, untreated, stigmatized, and underfunded. It's very unrecognized because children sometimes don't understand what they are going through. In the confusion of growing up, they think it's a normal thing and they think it's confusion, but sometimes it is very, very, very indenting to children and adolescents. It is not seen. Even when it is not seen, it is taken lightly and it is not treated. Globally, we see that the rates of suicide are rising, and suicide is the fourth leading cause of deaths among the young people. 1 in 7 of 10 to 19-year-old adolescents experience a mental health disorder, with half of all mental illness beginning by the age of 14, quite early in life. In Nepal, 1 in 20 adolescents have some mental health disorder, and 1 in every 100 experience depression. 7 in 1,000 have attempted suicide once in a lifetime. These are numbers we cannot continue to ignore because they're impacting on children and adolescents. But when we look at those numbers in years to come, then we'll be having adults largely and by far who are impacted by mental health. The peak onset of mental health condition in children is at 16 years old. With the above situation, Nepal has 5 specialized child and adolescent psychiatrists. This is far too few to address the magnitude of the issue that is on the increase. This alone cannot be able to address what we are seeing in our society today. There is therefore need for a standalone or integrated policy or plan for child and adolescent mental health services. School-based mental health prevention and promotion is limited, and the training around it, even to detect and to treat, is limited. While attempts are ongoing in terms of increasing cadre in care of children in this area, we still have a very long way to go. This is also calling for an urgent need to build systems for child and adolescent mental health and psychosocial support services. This includes increased number of child and adolescent psychiatrists through training, and this remains a very important area for UNICEF, working together with all partners to support and see how this is going to be achieved, because this remains a cornerstone for child well-being. The mental health and psychosocial support underpins prevention, promotion, and treatment, which is a continuum. And at a more granular level, UNICEF continues to work and support the government system in strengthening the services of primary health care through building capacity of health workers, through child and adolescent mental health training modules and all the other capacity building around it. We are also supporting initiating a telemental health consultation for children and adolescents at Kanti Children's Hospital. We've also supported in launching a hash of Machuni campaign and the AI chatbot for mental health awareness in social media. And further, we are supporting social-emotional learning package for school children at provincial levels. UNICEF joins hands with all other partners, and in particular WHO, in spearheading the Helping Adolescents Thrive, that is the HEART initiative, to strengthen policies and programs for the mental health and adolescents in Nepal. I wish you all the best in this two-day conference and look forward to sharing the discussions, the deliberations, and we look forward to also being active participants, contributing to the efforts that will help children and adolescents thrive, especially for their mental health and psychosocial well-being. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for highlighting such an important issues that need to be addressed in context of child and adolescent mental health. Now we proceed with the Lifetime Achievement Award. This time, Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Professor Pushpa Sharma sir. He is a renowned psychiatrist in Nepal who does not need any introduction. He has an experience of more than 30 years in the field of mental health in national and international forum. He is currently working as a head of the department in KISS Medical College, where I work under his leadership. So I would like to welcome Professor Pushpa Sharma sir on the stage. To do this honor, I would like to request our chief guest, Dr. Roshan Pokhrel, Health Secretary, Ministry of Health and Population, and guest of honor, Professor Norman Satureshar. So to do this honor, I would like to request President, SAARC Psychiatric Federation, Dr. Gautam Shah, sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is really great pleasure to stand in front of you, dignitaries on the dais. We have our chief guest, Dr. Roshan Pokhrel, our guest of honor, none other than Professor Norman Satureshar, sir, and the president of the Nepal SAARC Psychiatric Association, Dr. Sedin. We have the organizing committee chairperson, my dear friend, Dr. Sudarshan. We have the vice president of SAARC Psychiatric Federation, Professor Shane William. We have the president of APPA, Asian Federation of Psychiatric Association, Dr. G. Prasad Rao. We are lucky to have among ourselves the senior most psychiatrist of Nepal, Dr. D.R.B. Khanar, sir, my pranam. And also we have the chair of the scientific committee, my friend Dr. Ojha, Dr. Saraj Ojha, and representative from UNICEF, Dr. Akanga, Alice Akanga, ma'am. And definitely the secretary of, joint secretary of SAARC Psychiatric Federation, and also the organizing secretary of 14th SAARC International Psychiatric Conference, Dr. Nina Rai, has not come because of the visa problem. She is from Pakistan, Professor Dogar. So I have to cover his talk also. I have to enumerate the activities of SAARC Psychiatric Federation in the last 2 years. And regarding I must thank to the scientific committee because of choice of the topic, exploring networking opportunity for the mental health. It is really important. In fact, in the last 2 years as a president, I try to do it to networking among the SAARC countries and also the other countries of the world where the SAARC Psychiatric Federation stands. It should be very much important with the blessing of previous all past presidents, especially I should mention Dr. M.S.V.K. Raju and Dr. Sudarshan, who helped me a lot for doing all this work, and also all the EC members and all the member countries of the SAARC Psychiatric Federation. I should begin with the gratitude to Professor Afzal Javed, just immediate past president of the World Psychiatric Federation, Professor E. Mohan Das, Professor Brigadier M.S.V.K. Raju as advisor of our committee, and also office bearer of the SAARC Psychiatric Federation, Dr. Shaheen William, Dr. Imtiaz Dogar as Honorary General Secretary, Dr. Wazul Alam Chaudhary, the Honorary Treasurer of SAARC Psychiatric Federation, Dr. Sandeep Grover, Honorary Editor, and Dr. Neena Rai as Honorary Joint Secretary. My gratitude to all past presidents and secretaries of SAARC Psychiatric Federation. I don't going to name all the past president and secretary, but it is important from Nepal, 3 past presidents we have got, Dr. V.D. Sharma, Dr. Nabaraj Koirala, and Dr. Sudarshan, you know that. We have done on spirituality, yoga, and mental health, and it is really, credit goes to Dr. Rajashree Rai from India. APA Annual Conference, we have presented on behalf of SAARC Psychiatric Federation. The presentation was Psychological Impact of COVID-19 from a SAARC Perspective in APA, Annual Meeting of the American Psychiatric Association. International of Yoga Day, we observed. Again, Rajashree took an important role. And next is a SAARC online webinar by the Research Subcommittee on 23rd July. Dr. Kaustubh Chakraborty was the convener of this program. I'm just doing fast because otherwise it takes time. The 13th SAARC International Conference was organized in Bangladesh, September 2022. Even I talk on the role of psychiatry in transforming lives, past, present, and future. Then the president was Dr. Wazil Rahman, he is here only with us. And now the President Brigadier Azizul Islam is also with us. We had a program on CPD on grief and bereavement organized by 8th February. On 8th February, Dr. Sairi Pereira is the key lady to organize this. And we also attended the annual conference of the Nepal Psychiatric Association 23. And it was on 24th March 23, and this was a great opportunity for building relationship and collaboration in research and capacity building. I try to networking to all SAARC countries and develop in our research, academic, and in a relationship among the countries. Second International Conference on Psychiatry 2023, organized by Bangladesh Association of Psychiatry. I was invited as a guest of honor and the speaker in the inauguration ceremony, and Sir Brigadier Azizul Islam was the president of that conference. Webinar on digital psychiatry and geriatric psychiatry, we did on 22nd July, WPA and SPF jointly organized this webinar on digital psychiatry. And the 14th Psychiatric Conference at Nepal, we are here to attend this. So all these are the activities in the last 2 years, 10 years. But there are some challenges too. It is a rocky road to success. What inspired me personally to endure the challenges is nothing that there is saying in Tibetan, tragedy should be utilized as a source of strength, no matter what sort of difficulties, how painful experience, if we lose our hope that our real disaster. That Dalai Lama said this, and the greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but rising every time we fall. Nelson Mandela. And World Psychiatric Congress, you know that we have a YouTube channel. Also, as a SAARC Psychiatric Federation, we have done one lecture over there. And vision of SPF, as I don't want to discuss. But right now, I want to congratulate our next president of SAARC Psychiatric Federation, none other than my dear good friend, Dr. Sehen William. I want to give my medallion to my dear friend and hand over my presidency to my dear friend. Please give a loud applause for I am confident that you will do much better than me. And that's like that. Very stable.
Thank you, sir. During your presidency as a president of Psychiatric Federation, I also work as the capacity of Joint Secretary. And during our tenure, definitely we have done or conducted a lot of academic things, and you have really set a benchmark. Thank you, sir. So I request Dr. Snes William to break that benchmark. I hope you will break that benchmark. Thank you. So I would like to request the President, SAARC Psychiatric Federation, Snes William, to deliver the remarks.
Chief guest, Dr. Roshan Pokhrel, guest of honor, Dr. Sartorius, President and senior members of the Nepal Psychiatric Association, immediate past president of SAARC, Dr. Gautam Saha, Dr. Alice, and all the distinguished guests on the podium, including AFPA President, Dr. Rao, distinguished senior members of the SAARC region, from Bangladesh, from India, from Sri Lanka and Nepal. I am deeply honored and privileged to stand here as the new president of the SAARC Psychiatric Federation. I must firstly congratulate Dr. Gautam for the amazing work that he has done in the last 2 years, as we all saw. It has been an unprecedented time of challenges, but well done, Dr. Saha, for all the amazing work. He wore large shoes, which I am going to struggle to fill in the next 2 years, but I will definitely do my best. As always, with the support of the dear friendship and the love and affection we share as a team. It's just not beyond borders, but beyond our individuality. I know we are together, perhaps as the only field in medicine within the SAARC region. We have become, I think, very close. I think psychiatry perhaps is the only organization that has a very strong link, both in the Asian region as well as particularly in the SAARC region. And I hope to carry this forward. And I hope that our camaraderie and our friendship and our working together will progress in the years to come. I know we represent nearly a quarter of the world. More than 25% of the world lives in the SAARC region. And we have a rich culture of love, of affection, of collectivism, of family, which also links not just us together, but also the whole communities and the people we serve. And psychiatry, no doubt, is enriched and is very much a different field, perhaps in many other places in the world, because of the rich traditions that we share. We know that 13 to 50% of all neuropsychiatric disorders account for the global disability related to health issues, and perhaps 70% of mental health issues in the global world are confined to the low and middle income countries. And I'm acutely aware of the big mental health gap that still exists in our part of the world, and we need to work together. And I hope that we take this opportunity to thank the Nepal Psychiatric Association and the leadership provided by the President and Dr. Pradhan and Dr. Ahuja and the rest of the team, including Nina and all the others, for organizing this wonderful conference on behalf of the SAARC Psychiatric Federation. And I wish everyone a very fruitful time of meeting, of sharing knowledge, networking, and enriching and remembering this wonderful time together in our memories as we go along. So
Now, I would like to take an honor to call a living legend, the former director of WHO Mental Health Section, former president of World Psychiatric Association, and guest of honor, Professor Norman Sature, sir, to deliver his remarks.
President of the SAARC, Dr. Gautam Saha, immediate past president of the SAARC, honorable guests on the podium, Dr. Satan of the Nepalese Psychiatric Association, and Dr. Nina Rai as well, the honorable secretary, and who has done so much work. I'm delighted to be back here in Nepal after 40 years. Many things have changed, but one thing did not. The people are still as warm, hospitable, friendly, and wonderful, and a joy to be with. And I congratulate you on remaining people while things change. There are 3 events that I would like to mention here. The first of those is the sad news about the earthquake which Nepal experienced. There is there are human victims, but also there is a message for all of us about the fragility of our existence and our need to be prepared for events of that type, and also prepared to other people in misery who are there before us. And I think it's a terribly timely reminder of the things that we should keep in our mind when we are going ahead. The second event that I would like to mention is here the presence of the representative of UNICEF at this podium. UNICEF has been doing wonderful work on promoting health of children. But for many years it seemed that UNICEF did not notice that some children have mentally ill parents and some mentally ill parents have children, and that it's impossible to think about a single person in mental illness. It is always a group, it's always the family, it's always more than one person who is concerned. And I think that the fact that they are joining and supporting mental health is a symbolic representation of international organizations. I hope that other organizations that deal with specific topics will also want to join us in the future. But I'm delighted that we have UNICEF with us on this occasion. The third point I'd like to mention is an event that Professor Mohan Aysand and I had the honor and the privilege to guide, which was a course for young psychiatrists that we were organized here by the joint effort of the Nepalese Psychiatric Association, the Institute of Medicine with Dr. Oja, and under the extremely able organizational skills of Dr. Pant and Dr. Tolachan and Dr. Upadhyay and Dr. Lama, who have brought together 30 people. But I think it was important to, for other reasons, it was important because in a way it recognized the need to open other areas of education for young psychiatrists and also to think about them as being the carrier of all the problems, but also of all the solutions that are before us. Now, I hope that I shall come back again, maybe not in a 40 years' time, but in the nearer future. And I also hope that we shall have the pleasure of seeing colleagues from Nepal in other meetings, remembering the outstanding occasion which we are having here, for which I am very grateful, and which I hope will remain in your memory as it will remain in mine. Thank you.
Now, I would like to request Dr. Wojizul Alam Chaudhary, Treasurer, SAARC Psychiatric Federation, on the dais. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome him with a round of applause.
Thank you, Lina. Yes, 14औं SAARC International Psychiatric Conference को उद्घाटन सत्र को अध्यक्षता गरिरहनुभएका आदरणीय प्यानका अध्यक्षज्यू, गेस्ट अफ अनर प्रोफेसर नर्मन सार्टोरियस, त्यस्तै प्रोफेसर सरोज ओझा सर, सुदर्शन प्रधान दाई, मैले दाई नै भन्नु पर्यो है, अब त घरै आए जस्तो लाग्छ, त्यही भएर सुरुमा अलिकति नेपाली बोल्ने कोसिस गरेँ, अलिकति अङ्ग्रेजी आउने हुनाले एकैछिनपछि बोल्छु भनेर सम्बोधन चाहिँ नेपालीमा गर्ने कोसिस गरेँ। त्यस्तै डाइसमा उपस्थित गौतम शाह सर, जो चाहिँ आज 2 वर्ष कार्यकाल सकेर सिहान विलियम्स सरलाई आफ्नो कार्यकाल दिँदै हुनुहुन्छ, उहाँहरू दुवैजनालाई हार्दिक धन्यवाद। मेरा श्रद्धेय गुरु पनि यहाँ हुनुहुन्छ, उहाँहरू सबैलाई हार्दिक धन्यवाद डाइसमा, र युनिसेफका डाक्टर एलिस, सिनियर सरहरू, मेरा आदरणीय गुरुहरू मैले देखिरहेको छु, धुर्मान सर यही हुनुहुन्छ, र मलाई सधैँ हात जोडाएर पढाउने मेरो बिडी शर्मा सर, नवराज सर पनि यतै हुनुहुन्छ। त्यही भएर सबै सरहरूलाई हार्दिक धन्यवाद। त्यस्तै गरेर बाहिरबाट सार्कका मित्र राष्ट्र देशहरूबाट पाल्नुभएका मेरा अग्रज साथीहरू, यो समयको लागि हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त गर्न चाहन्छु। So I take this opportunity to thank every one of you for attending this 14th SAARC International Psychiatric Conference. And it's good that this conference is being held in Nepal, where we need more conferences like this, you know. And this is the best time. Thank you for coming here. Though it seems that more Nepalese are here, we'd love to see more delegates out here. But anyway, the number of delegates we see here is good to see all of you here. And I welcome you, and I hope that the 2 days deliberation that you're going to have today and tomorrow with Professor Sartorius at the helm of it, I mean, it definitely will be very encouraging and very fruitful to all the delegates. I think the SAARC countries, we do have same problem, and we are doing some good practices. You know, each individual country is doing a certain good practices on mental health, which can be shared with each of the countries, which will be beneficial to all of us. So I was just talking to Professor Sartorius while I was here, and he told me that, you know, yes, we are doing something for the, I mean, chronically ill patient, but is any country doing anything for the care providers or not? So it struck me, definitely if you cannot provide the care, you know, and after a certain period of time, I mean, the care provider loses hope, and he has to work on his own. So if we can give them some sort of initiative to look after the chronic patient, I think it will be beneficial. So I mean, just talking to him on an unofficial basis, I thought that I got a very good idea, you know. So I mean, this group meeting will definitely come up with certain ideas, the presentations and the research papers that will be there today and tomorrow will definitely help us move ahead. So I wish you all the good luck for that. And yes, what is the government role? You know, you might be asking what the government role is, you know. So definitely I would like to say something on the government roles. Unfortunately, the government till date has not been able to do a lot, especially on mental health. But over the last few years, I think Nepal government is definitely, despite all its own problems, you know, definitely trying to do something on mental health and suicide. So I think there are some good works that has been going on, and I take this opportunity to thank all my senior psychiatrists, all my partners, WHO, UNICEF, NORAD, and all partners, and INGOs and NGOs working in this field who are helping the government to make sure that we provide proper mental health services, especially in the rural areas. So I could relate to you with the incidents 3 days back that happened. The health services that we provide immediately within 6 to 8 hours to the communities, especially in Jazarkot and West Rokum, was quite good. But I mean, the health services were quite good, but I mean, what will happen to the mental health issues? Will we be able to do that or not? So it is where we should be thinking of right now. At present, what the government has done is, yes, we have tried to make sure that in the regional and in the federal hospitals of the countries, we do want to have a psychiatric facilities with all the psychiatric services. This year, we plan to have at least one psychiatrist in district level hospital with 50-bedded hospitals. Because of the HR issue, human resources issue, and because of some O&M issues, the government still does not have enough psychiatrists and enough psychiatrists working, especially in the rural areas, but we're trying to do something on that. And similarly, we're trying to train all the health workers in the local level so that they can at least do the psychosocial counseling part and distribute some medications. In the 97 medications, I think we have added 10 psychiatric medications. So, I mean, if they can diagnose certain psychiatric diseases and if the referral system can be made proper, I think we will do some work in this. And fortunately, we are still fighting with communicable diseases, so the government preference or the government importance on non-communicable and mental health issues may look very small, but yes, the government is trying to do something, and with all your support, I think we'll be able to deliver mental health services to the needy people. Nepal being very prone to communicable diseases, you hear that we have communicable diseases every time we think that we are well of it. We are still suffering from sometimes polio and sometimes dengue is a big problem, and these natural disasters, now we just had a earthquake and the winter is coming, so the cold waves, especially in the Tarai, will be another big issue. And after that, when rainy season comes, the flood is a big issue. So throughout the year, we do have natural disaster in the country. So the government has to look after both the issue, but the concern and the presence of increasing number of human resources in mental health over the last few years is very encouraging to us. And I, being the secretary of the country, and on my capacity, I will do whatever I can do to make sure that this field grows up. And after 1 year, I think, after 14 months, I'll be back in sitting somewhere in the hall like every one of you. So I've got 14 more months. So I'll try to do my best in this 14 months. And I hope that this 14th SAARC International Psychiatric Conference will be a huge success. And thank you very, very much for calling me, especially Dr. Sudarshan Pradhan and Dr. Oza, my senior. This is an opportunity for me also. As a secretary, अलिकति अंग्रेजी अलिकति नेपाली पनि बोल्नुपर्ने भयो हुनाले सबैलाई पुनः हार्दिक धन्यवाद दिँदै, especially to Professor Sartorius, Dr. Gautam, Dr. Sian. Thank you for your presence, and I hope we continue to work for the betterment of mental health in the coming days, especially in the country, within SAARC and within Asia, as per the President out here. Thank you very much.
Now I would like to request Dr. G. Prasad Rao, sir. He's the president of AFPA, Asian Federation of Psychiatric Association, to deliver his remarks.
Professor Norman Sartorius, our guru of gurus, and continues to teach across the world. Dr. Roshan is a psychiatrist, and psychiatrist being the health secretary is always helpful for us. Welcome, sir, and all the distinguished members, especially the team of Nepal Psychiatric Association, Dr. Oja and the family of psychiatrists, and Dr. Sudarshan Pradhan and others. It's really a great honor to be here. We are honored because Asian Federation of Psychiatric Association and SAARC Federation of Psychiatrics are working together in the last 2 years. And today, we are actually having the first research initiative which is going to be presented in this conference. Not only that, together, and I'm sure Professor Shihan would also work with the Asian Federation. We are going to have a few international conferences in the coming year where the science of psychiatrists across the SAARC Federation of Psychiatry and the Asian Federation of Psychiatry Association is going to be highlighted. Not only here, I think the psychiatrists from this zone, both in the Bangkok and Vienna, has shown their light by being the distinguished young psychiatrists, well mentored by Professor Norman Sartorius and Professor Mohan Isaac, my guru. It's a real pleasure to be here, and I'm sure all of us will benefit and we work together. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, I would like to request Dr. Wajidul Alam Chaudhary for his remark as a treasurer, SAARC Psychiatric Federation.
The 14th SAARC International Psychiatric Conference, learned chief guest, other dignitaries and leaders of Southeastern psychiatrists, and Professor Norman Sartorius on the dais, the learned participant and leader of psychiatry of this region, and other participants. Very, very good morning. And I'm really delighted to be here. And as you have given me the chance to say something about this program, actually I want to mention few exceptional things of Psychiatric Federation. You know, every organization of mental health having their activities mostly confined in the scientific activities or other things. But actually in SAARC or SAARC Psychiatric Federation, we have introduced another thing that we call beyond the border. As I think is very essential, necessary, because we are psychiatrists. We are a bit different from the conventional doctor or physician. And in that point of view, it's a wonderful addition to the total program. One thing regarding Bangladeshi psychiatrists and SAARC Psychiatric Federation. How Bangladeshi psychiatrists know the Psychiatric Federation. Actually, when we were just a student, junior student of psychiatrist, we found one of our senior brother, Dr. Professor Ghulam Rabbani. He started his career from the very beginning of this organization. And really, we have learned this chapter from Professor Ghulam Rabbani. So let's big hand for him. Professor Rabbani is here. We have actually know what is SAARC Psychiatric Federation. And subsequently, what we have learned from Dr. Gautam Saha is how to work for the people of this region as a psychiatrist. His laughing, his gossiping, his advice, everything tremendously inspired us to help for the people of this region. Finally, the laughing of Dr. Saha and the smiling of Dr. Sihan will continue the spirit of this organization to go ahead. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your remark. Now, I would like to request Professor Dr. Desraj Kuwar, sir. He is the senior most psychiatrist from the Nepal. So I would like to request him to deliver his remark.
Professor Norman Sartorius and chief guest, Dr. Rushan Pokhrel, and President-elect of SAARC Psychiatric Federation, and ongoing President, Dr. Gautam Shah. It's my privilege to talk as the most senior member of the SAARC Psychiatric Federation. We started the Psychiatric Association of Nepal during 1988. Within a couple of these 35 years or so, we have progressed so much in different fields of psychiatry, like addiction psychiatry, community mental health, and child psychiatry is taking very well progressed in Nepal, as good as in India in child psychiatry. It's not saying that my son is doing that. He deserves the reputation, that the amount of hard work he is putting on. And similarly, our teaching teaching curriculum in different medical colleges is going on very smoothly. And during the last psychiatric conference, I suggested that PAN should have one academic committee, to monitor the education in all the psychiatric education in all the medical colleges curriculum. At the end, there are so many things to talk, but I'm very pleased to see that in 1988, we were only 13 members when I started the PAN. Now I can see that more than 200 psychiatrists here. I feel proud to be involved. The British government wanted me to stay in Great Britain as a consultant. I refused. They were surprised, and I said, no, I want to go back to my country, contribute something in the field of mental health. And this has been quite fruitful. All other doctors who have gone before me or after me, they all are staying in Great Britain. They are not here. I am the only poor guy, who doesn't care for money, who cares for community work and for the upliftment of the mental health. At the end, what I will say is that last night, Dr. Ranjan Thapa says that responsibility of psychiatrists in the prevention of depressive disorders and suicide prevention. Now, I want to put a question. What should be the role of Psychiatric Association of Nepal for multi-sectorial, collaboration to improve the mental health in Nepal, particularly in the field of depression and suicide prevention? Thank you very much.
Now we are almost at the end of our session. Now I would like to request President Psychiatric Association Nepal, Professor C.P. Serai sir, for his remarks and closing remarks as well.
On the behalf of Psychiatric Association of Nepal, it's a moment of great privilege and honor for me, this historical event. I'd like to thank you all to 14th SAARC International Conference from beautiful city Kathmandu. According to WHO report 2022, 1 in 8 people in the world is suffering from mental illness. I like to remind that the mental health is one of the neglected area of public health and condition has been worsened by COVID-19. I like to remind here that about 21% of the global population live in the region of the South Asia. SAARC is the regional intergovernmental organization and geopolitical union of states in the South Asia. I like to remind that SAARC comprises 3% of the world land and 5.21% of the global economy. SAARC was founded in Dhaka on 8 December 1985. The SAARC Psychiatric Federation was formed in 2005 to improve collaboration between mental health profession in the SAARC countries. The WHO report 2020 suggested that SAARC countries, except Maldives, have less than one psychiatrist per 100,000. Government in all SAARC countries, except Afghanistan, spends less than 1% of the total health budget on mental health. Fortunately, many SAARC countries like India, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan have mental health policies and laws, stand-alone or integrated policies or plan for the child and child mental health. There is huge mental health gap between burden of mental disorder and available resources. According to WHO, the treatment gap is estimated about 75% to 85% to low and middle income economic countries. Prevalence and problem of psychiatric disorder in SAARC countries is about 12 to 15%. At personal level, support from colleagues, friends, and family is essential, considering the fact there is no health without mental health. the SAARC Psychiatric Federation, World Psychiatric Association, WPA, World Association of Social Psychiatry, WASP, WHO, UNICEF, Asian Federation of Psychiatry Association, AFPA, and Psychiatry Association of each SAARC countries help to promote the mental health in this region. Similarly, Asian Network of Bipolar Disorder, ANBD, World Association of Rehabilitation Psychiatry, WPR, and Ministry of Health and Population and government of the SAARC countries have important role to promote the mental health in South Asia. In the ancient era, it was believed that mental disorder was supernatural origin. Since then, the viewpoint toward the mental illness has drastically changed. Now the recent concept has changed and etiology of the mental illness is experienced on the basis of biopsychosocial model. Talking of the history of Nepal, before 1961, mentally ill people were kept on the Dhulikhel jail. There was no place to take psychiatric patients at that time. Many psychiatric patients were taken to traditional healer and hope of successful treatment. Some psychiatric patients were taken to Ranchi, India. In 1961, first psychiatric OPD was started in Bir Hospital. In 1972, 10-bedded neuropsychiatric unit was established in Royal Army Hospital, which was then shifted to Lagankhel. Pattern, presently 50-bedded. Now, psychiatric department, nursing home, rehab center, NGOs are providing mental health service in Nepal. Mental health survey data 2020 says that prevalence of mental disorder in adult 4.3% and adolescents 5.2% in Nepal. And mental health budget as a portion of the national health budget is 0.2%. Number of psychiatrists 210 till now in Nepal. Psychiatric bedded. So we can say that current mental health service in Nepal is still not satisfactory and not as per WHO standard. The following to be addressed by Nepal government. There is need to increase budget on mental health. There is a need for initiating various sub-specialty program, child and adolescent, geriatric, addiction, and forensic psychiatry. There is need to fill existing vacancies, increase recruitment of psychiatrists, and create position for clinical psychologists, psychiatric nurse, psychosocial counselor, and community-based psychosocial in the government healthcare. First of all, I like to extend vote of thanks to our Honorable Chief Guest, Secretary of Ministry of Health and Population, Dr. Roshan Pokhrel. Similarly, I like to extend special thanks to Dr. Gautam Saha, President of SAARC Psychiatric Federation, great contribution on the SAARC Psychiatric Federation. On behalf of Psychiatric Association of Nepal, wishing you very successful and fruitful 14th SAARC conference ahead. I would like to remind you, Psychiatric Association of Nepal is always progressive, dynamic, and most importantly receptive to all the activities. At the end, I close the session. Thank you.